Little Victory's here, and I have a interesting, kind of different video for you today. I will be selling some of my slabs on two different big consignment sellers on eBay, Probstein and dcsports87. I buy from both regularly, but I've never sold with them. In fact, I've only ever sold myself on eBay, but my eBay store needed a New Year deep clean, so I ended a lot of slabs listings that weren't selling or I just didn't care about anymore. One of my weaknesses as a seller is that I hold too long. Some of my slabs I deleted had been listed in my store for over 5 years. That's insane, and I should never ever let that happen. My advice is to never hold in your store for longer than a year or two. If it hasn't sold by then, I suggest just cutting ties and sell through a big consignor auction style. Also, I'm in the process of editing a lot of my listings to reflect a more competitive price. The cards I listed within this last year are priced accurately and correctly, but beyond that into COVID peak times, I need to edit each of those listings and lower the price accordingly. My goal is to do that within the next few weeks. I wish eBay made it easier to edit listings, but I just need to suck it up and spend the time doing it. So back on topic. I'll be sending in all of these slabs. Probably, I think there's around 370 total. So I'm going to split them up between dcsports87 and Probstein, and I will share how I do. But I want to make this video helpful, so I thought it would be a fun challenge and learning opportunity to see which company wins, meaning which company sells your cards for more, which one can make you more money. And I will be doing this by these two stacks right here. There's probably over 50 pairs of the same card, the same grade. So for example, let's just look right here. We got two of the LeBron James, two Michael Thomas, two Allen Iversons, same grade, same card pretty much, right there. Two Steve Nash, and then you're also going to get some cards. You'll see why I'm getting rid of, like Oladipo didn't pan out, stuff like that. More Oladipo. Yeah. So I will be splitting up each pair, one to each company, and from that we can compare what each company sold each card for, and then figure out overall which consignor sells a little better. Should be fun, little experiment. Now I just need to ship them all out. There's a lot. You guys see the the amount right here. It's pretty crazy. And then once the auctions have ended, completed, they have sold my cards, I will add the results to this video. So I will play that right now, and I hope I did well, fingers crossed. All right, I got the results. I just have a little bit of eye candy for you to look at in the background while I talk about everything. And first off, I want to say that I'm not affiliated with either of these two companies I'm talking about, DC Sports or Probstein. I like not being affiliated with anyone, so I can make videos like this. Okay, the first thing you should do when choosing which consignor to go with is check their fees. I did not do this because I was planning on making this video either way, no matter what. And I assumed they were all the companies would just take out around 15%, give or take. But I found that it does matter, and there's a difference between Probstein and DC Sports. So after all my auctions completed with Probstein, the fee taken out for each card looked reasonable, seemed reasonable. But after DC Sports 87 auctions ended, it appeared noticeably more was taken out. So I looked at the fees further, and here you go. And this is important for the cards that I sent in because most of my slabs were $5 to $25 slabs. And as you can see, for the cards under 25 bucks, DC takes out 20% compared to Probstein's 15%. And it's important to note that for cards that sell for under 10 bucks, DC takes out 75 cents per card and Probstein $1 per card. That adds up, and that's taken out on top of that regular percentage taken out. So this really hurts slabs that sell for $3 to $5, that range. You're pretty much giving your cards away with little back. But I totally get why consigners companies do that. It's because it protects themselves from people sending in very low-end stuff. Otherwise, it would be a huge waste of their time. All right, now that we have the fees in order, let's go over the shipping to them part. All right, shipping the cards to them. I found that Probstein is old school, but I'm old school in a lot of ways, so I'm okay with that. With Probstein, there's no account setup. There's no, login and create password, any of that. You simply send your cards to them with a paper with your name, phone number, and email address on that paper, and send that package with signature confirmation to their address right here. I went ahead and emailed them before sending off just to make sure everything was good to go. And that's when they sent me back this automated response with the fees and shipping address to ship to. Okay, DC Sports is more streamlined, modern, intuitive. They have a website where you create an account, login, username, and everything like that, which I prefer. You print out a submission slip, it looks like that, and then put that slip in with your package and ship it out. Okay, when they received the packages, Probstein was great and emailed that they got everything okay and that they are working on the listings. DC, you just check their site and you can see when they receive your package okay. There's an area for that. So in my case, Probstein only took 3 to 5 days to list my cards up on eBay. DC took longer, a little closer to, I'd say, 10 or 12 days, give or take. Now, once your listings are up, that's where the different variables start to happen. I think it's the luck of the draw which day and time your auctions end on. Unfortunately, I think I got a bit unlucky with both companies on that one. My Probstein auctions ended almost midnight, like 11:15 Eastern time on a Tuesday and Wednesday night. And DC ended on a Sunday, which is normally great. I think that's the best day for auctions to end, in my opinion. But they had my listings end right at the very end of the important Lions 49ers game. Like, they ended the end of the fourth quarter, right when everything was happening. So that probably did not help my sales. Also, it seemed that Probstein ran a 7-day duration on my auctions, and DC ran only a 5-day auctions. I actually prefer the 7-day because that gives you an extra 2 days to gain more eyes on your listings, more people to watch your listings. Probstein is great, and they email you each day with a link you can go to, and you can see your eBay listings, how they're progressing. And DC also does this, and it's on their website, which is great. Okay, now let's get into the results. Which sold my cards for more? And to most accurately assess this, let's go to the pairs of cards I talked about earlier, where I split up each pair and sent one off each to the different company. So there were 53 pairs total, and here are the results. So in total, I made, and this is net, I made, for DC Sports, I made $516, give or take, on these 53 cards. And on Probstein, I made $582. So divide that by 53, and that equals out for DC. I made about $9.74 per card. And with Probstein, I made around $11 per card. That is an 11.5 5 increase for Probstein sales. So they were higher. They sold my cards for more for that sample size of 53 cards. I'd love to show you side-by-side results for each one of those cards, but that would take forever and too much of your time. So let's just look at 5 of them, how they compared and how they both compare to the card ladder market value number for that card. So first card up, let's do the DeAndre Ayton Silver Rookie PSA 10. Looks like for DC Sports, I sold it for $20.50. And Probstein, I sold for $21.50. That was once like a $600 card, believe it or not. And it looks like the card ladder current price is around $24. So, and these are gross sales that I added. So, lower than the current market price, but that's okay. Let's move on to the next card. The Gary Payton 1990 Hoops Rookie PSA 9. DC Sports sold it for $19.50 and Probstein $20.50. I think that's a solid value. I'd take that value any day, that sale price. And the current price from Card Ladder looks like they're selling for around $19, so I did really well. Like I said, the kind of bigger names, the Hall of Famers, stuff like that, sold pretty well. Now let's do the third card, which is the Shaq 1992 Shaq Topps Rookie PSA 9. DC Sports sold it for $22.50. And Probstein sold it for $25. The current price, it looked like, on Card Ladder was around $28. So a little lower, but that's okay. I still think, you know, for how mass-produced, there's so many 9s out there of that Shaq Rookie. I'm okay selling for that price. The Griffey 1989 Fleer Rookie. DC Sports sold it for around $22, and Probstein was a little below that, actually $20.50 for Probstein, and the current market price for Card Ladder says it's $17, so I got more on the Griffey, which is great. The next card was one of those mass-produced silvers. It's the Kobe White, which actually he's had a nice resurgence this year. Otherwise, this card would have sold for like $1. It is the 2019 Prism Silver PSA 9 Rookie. DC Sports sold it for $13.50 and Probstein $12.50. And looks like the current price is actually $19, so I didn't do well on that one. I did, like I said, I got murdered on all those silver prisms and stuff like that. So there you go on those ones. I also want to give you my overall numbers. So for all the cards I sold, which was 177 cards I sold on dcsports87, net I made around $1,850. That's about $10.50 per card. And on Probstein, 178 total cards, and I made $1,890 net on those, and that was about $10.60 per card. So very similar results overall. It might be hard to see, but here are the entire results sold with Probstein for each card, kind of the gross and the net. I definitely noticed that the big names sold well, or equal to or better than the current market prices. You know, like the Jordans, the Kobes, the Shaqs, the Iversons, the Griffeys. I did really well on those. As for the mass-produced COVID boom base rookie prism and silvers of all the mediocre basketball players, I got destroyed on them. You're pretty much giving them away at this point, so use them as paperweights, target practice, who knows. And I get that. And no one wants them anymore. I don't want them anymore. That's why I sent them out. In fact, I don't want to see them anymore. It's just kind of a reminder of the boom collapse and the fact that I should have sold them during that time when they were a little higher and when I had the chance. All right, so now that the auctions have ended, let's talk payment, payout, how you get paid. Probstein was great and sent an Excel-style sheet with all my sales and net earnings for each card and the total. Then, within a day or two, I kind of got this random email from an employee of theirs. It looked suspicious at first, but then I realized it was them. They were asking how I wanted to get paid, and they mentioned a direct into my bank. but they wanted a checking account number and everything like that. That's kind of why I thought it was suspicious and everything. And then they gave me a PayPal option too, goods and services, which would have took out another 2 or 3%. But I was kind of being cautious, so I went ahead and just said PayPal. I think next time, now that I know the process, I'll trust them more and do the direct bank. But they were great. They sent me that PayPal payment within a day of that email. I got that right away. Now, dcsports87's payment process is a little different. On their website, you see your available balance. That is the amount available for you to already cash out. It's available. And then you see your money on the way amount, meaning the amount still in limbo because people haven't paid for your items yet. Once they pay, then that money moves into the available balance for you to cash out. Then you can choose, a bank deposit or PayPal, and you will get your money pretty quick. All right, so now that you know the process and heard my experiences with each company, you may ask, which company would you prefer to use over the other? So honestly, I would use both companies and will in the future, but I think overall I would go with the old school Probstein. Although it's not advanced and modern, I think they prove to me that they sell your items for a little bit more. Example, back to that 11.5% mentioned earlier that I made on those pairs. Also, they use a 7-day duration, which I prefer there, and they had better fees. Only 15% taken out compared to DC's 20% taken out for the value cards that I would send in, the lower amount. All right, so there you go. Overall, I wasn't too happy with some of the cards that sold really low, but if someone told me I would get around 3,800 for that stack of 360 slabs, I would have taken it and have been happy. Because now that money that I got can make money. It's not dead anymore. It's not dead money rotting in my eBay store. I can use it for grading fees, for fresh new inventory or higher end singles I've been wanting with better investment upside. So that money is not dead anymore. It's not money that would continue to sit there and keep going down. So my advice, don't be scared to sell for a loss sometimes. I'm very stubborn too. Look, it's took me 3 to 5 years to get the courage to cut bait and sell some of those cards for a loss. But trust me, once those cards are out of your hands, out of your house, a switch will flip in your head and you will be totally fine getting rid of them. So, all right, I hope you found this video helpful. I wish all of you the best of luck selling and collecting. I will have my normal reveals, a ton of them, PSA reveals coming up. So thank you for watching.